All life originated in the ocean, and the ocean still contains 80% of all life on Earth. Also, 70% of the whole planet is covered by water. But we've only explored less than 5% of this important ecosystem. The question is now, who is giving the ocean so much power? We find the answer if we look at the small things. Microorganisms. Marine microorganisms can use many different energy sources. For example, the energy of the sun, which they use to grow, and by that establish the basis of the whole marine food chain. They also produce the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere, and every second breath comes from the ocean. So the microorganisms in the ocean have a really close relationship. And the challenge for us is that we have to understand this relationship if we want to do something against great global problems, like climate change or ocean acidification, which are huge threats to the whole planet and human health. On the 23rd of May 2013, the European Union, the United States, and Canada signed the Galway Statement on Atlantic Ocean Cooperation. An example of this transatlantic cooperation is the Ocean Sampling Day, as part of the EU-funded Micro B3 project. Let's go to the Azores and find out more about the Ocean Sampling Day from the two scientists Linda Amaral-Zettler and Anna Martens.
My name is Linda Amaral-Zettler, and I'm from the Marine Biological Laboratory in Woods Hole, Massachusetts. And I'm here in the Azores today on the island of St. George, helping to sample for Ocean Sampling Day.
My name is Anna Martens. I'm an oceanographer at the Department of Oceanography and Fisheries at the University of the Azores. So we are right now located at the Department of Oceanography in Fayal Island in the Azores.
There's one ocean, and it's shared by many countries. And the reason that international cooperation is so important is because sampling the ocean, as simple as it sounds, is actually difficult. It's expensive, it costs money, it costs resources, and resources don't come for free. And so the more that we can do to leverage individual regional efforts and resources, the better off we'll be in protecting the ocean.
The Ocean Sampling Day took place on June 21st, 2014, the longest day in the Northern Hemisphere. On this day, more than 180 science teams around the world took water samples from the world ocean with the aim to analyze all microorganisms inside. This massive global sampling campaign was organized by the OSD team, consisting of members of the Micro B3 consortium. The OSD team coordinated the water sampling on all continents and collected more than 1,000 filters shipped on around 1.5 tons of dry ice to Bremen, Germany for DNA extraction and further analysis.
There are many different ways of sampling the ocean. The very simple ways, you can use a bucket and rinse it several times and then collect the actual sample. Other methods include specialized types of bottles that you can actually put into the ocean, and they snap closed and they'll collect a volume of water. Once the sample is collected, then the idea is to get it to a laboratory or a place where you can concentrate the microbes inside of the sample as quickly as possible.
Scientists from around the world took water samples, and the OSD consortium aims to analyze all microorganisms in these samples. This is not an easy task, because one drop of ocean water already contains millions of microorganisms.
All the samples that are going to be collected during Ocean Sampling Day will be frozen as soon as the filtration is over, and then put it directly on either dry ice or in a very cold freezer, -20 or -80 preferably. And then those samples are going to be shipped to Germany, where they'll be extracted.
The technique that is going to help the scientists to achieve their goal is called sequencing. This method reads the DNA of living organisms in the sample, identifying all microorganisms at once.
Some really important protocols are sampling at the same time, so we're sampling all on the same day. So being consistent and standardizing methodologies and also ways of analyzing data are one of the things that is unique to Ocean Sampling Day, and will not only benefit regional scientists, but will really benefit asking and answering big questions.
The outcome of this massive global sampling campaign is tons of digital data about the genetic information of the world's microorganisms. The challenge for the scientists around the world is now to turn this data into knowledge and use it to solve global problems.
Well, the raw data will be processed first. And then once that happens, then all the data will be pooled together. And there are different types of algorithms and methods to be able to figure out how many different types of organisms are represented in that genetic data.
The massive sampling around the world is not the only thing that makes the OSD so valuable. It's the opportunity for everyone to take action. Everyone can become a citizen scientist and help the international researchers by measuring their local environment.
As a citizen, I'm very interested in biology and climate change and all those challenges we're facing today. And in the Ocean Sampling Day, I saw an opportunity to contribute to the science that eventually will have to change the way we are dealing with our world. So today we went out with the ship of my grandfather, and when I was a kid we used to sail a lot on his boat, and the boat has a lot of memories. I think every citizen should worry about the health of our planet and our oceans. And the Ocean Sampling Day is an opportunity for us to contribute to the science. And it's not really that hard. I proved this today. You can go out with a thermometer and a nitrate kit and do some measurements. And I will do that in the next sampling events, and I hope along with me many thousand other citizens will.
Why I think it's important to continue Ocean Sampling Day and these efforts is a more long-term perspective, a more long-term benefit, which isn't immediately obvious, but understanding how life and diversity changes over time will help everyone, will benefit everyone eventually. And that's because we need to understand how things are changing in order to protect them.
OSD 2014 innovated a new kind of site-based international collaborative marine science. For the first time, marine researchers and citizen scientists worked hand in hand for a better understanding and the sustainable use of our ocean. Inspired by a mutual transatlantic cooperation, it has already grown towards a worldwide endeavor. But OSD 2014 marked just the beginning. Stay tuned for OSD 2015.